Alrighty, this week's newsletter, we're going to kind of go over how to install a distributor in the engine. We get this question quite a bit, and it's pretty cut and dried. And so we just figured we'd kind of do a video on it just so you can watch and see it. So here we have one of our new crate engines, and we're getting ready to dyno it. And we got an MSD distributor here. And just to give you a little background, what we do is we set this up. Basically, it's got the black bushing in it, which is about an 18-degree bushing for advance in the distributor. We got a silver and a blue spring, so it gives it a fairly quick curve. So basically, initially, if we want total of 32 degrees, 18, so we want 14 base on the motor. So if with no advance, that's about what it's going to idle at. So without going into the curve. So first of all, take your number one spark plug out, and we've already done that, and bring it around to compression. So in essence, just put your finger on there and let it blow it off, and then rotate it around. And what you'll want to do is get the dampener, if it's one of our engines or whatever, so get the dampener where it's pointing, as you can see that there. We normally about 18 degrees, as you can see, that is a good spot to install your distributor. So anywhere from 10 to 20. A lot of people make the mistake, they bring it around on 0, put it in there, line it up, and it really doesn't run. It's real retarded. It just causes a lot of grief. So so do that. Then the next thing, if it's a new distributor, grab your distributor, and highly recommend lubing up the distributor gear here. We use, this is really good stuff here. Let me turn it right there. EPL, extreme pressure lube, very good. But any grease, oil, you know, something, this is real good. The distributors actually come with a packet of lube that's really good. So just put a good bit on there. Okay. So establish where your number one spark plug wire is, and we have done that, and it's right here. If it's one of our engines, you'll see this little red hash and this slot. So we put that slot in there so when the red goes away, you can still know where number one without the cap on. So basically, that's put your distributor cap on, figure out where your number one is, and then do that. Take your cap back off. So what you want to do now is just set her down in there. Rotate the distributor around to where it points to number one and where you want your distributor positioned. So naturally, as you can see, the distributor is setting up. Hopefully you can see that. It's kind of hard to see. So it's not in perfect alignment with oil pump drive shaft, which is kind of a common deal. So what you want to do is you don't want to rotate the motor over now with a pointing. So basically it's going to be too far advanced. So you want to retard it 1 degree. And by gosh, look at that. It just slid right in. A lot of times it won't. You'll rotate it over and it'll slide in and follow rotation there since it's brake cut gear. So now what you do is just line that rotor up with your hash mark right at that point in time, and then lock your distributor down. And we'll guarantee you it will start right up, and you'll be within, let's say, 5 degrees of where you want to be for your timing. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and install everything here, and we'll get this engine running, and then we'll go over how to basically check your timing at idle, full, advance, things of that nature. So stay tuned. All right, we've fired the motor up, warmed it up, kind of run it in and everything of that nature. So kind of like we said earlier, we set basically initially, we put the dampener right around 18 degrees, and when we fired it up, we revved it up, and it was like within a degree of what our target 32 degree was. So that's just a good reference. You know, naturally we do this day in, day out on these, kind of know where to set it. So so that works good. So like I said, you know, really one of the base things is when you put your dampener on, bring it up before TDC, make sure to put anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees. Don't go to 0. That's seems to be a big issue with guys that try to do it and then it's retarded and backfires and get frustrated and stuff. So to do that, you should have no problems. And then what we'll do now is we'll fire it up and we'll kind of rev it up, show you full advance. This is another thing that basically we're really more worried about full advance than idle. Naturally at 1,000 RPM with the springs we got and stuff, you're actually in the curve. So the distributor is going to kind of bounce around there a bit, you know, just due to idle and things, and you're in that curve. So we kind of give you a parameter of where it should be at 1,000 RPM on your tune-up card that you get. So any motor really of this nature, full advance is what we're really worried about and stuff. So we're going to kind of do that for you real fast, and so you can kind of get an idea of what to look for there and stuff. And that's really the crucial point. So when it comes back to idle, really that's just kind of a good judge to know if there's issues or something like that going on and stuff. So and you can adjust that basically if you want, you know, your 32 degrees full advance and you want less at idle, basically then you can change that bushing we were talking about earlier, and that'll give more advance in the distributor and stuff. So you can do that, you can play with that if you'd like it to be not as much timing there. Naturally that black one is the biggest one. They do make some more aftermarket. There's some companies out there that have some bigger bushings, so cuts that down if you want more idle timing and stuff. So all kinds of things you can do there. If you've got any questions about all that kind of stuff, don't hesitate to contact us, email us, anything of that nature. We'll try to help you out. That's the whole purpose of these videos. So we'll go ahead and fire her up here and show you kind of how to check it. It'll be kind of noisy, so we'll just kind of do it. Alrighty, we tried to get you a good shot of that. It's kind of hard. So basically you just want to really rev it up 4,500, 5,000. Don't be afraid to do that. And you'll see it stop advancing, and hopefully you can see that the mark at 32 degrees. So kind of for our crate motors, what we do is we got these nice degrees. Eventually those are going to go away. So what we do is we put kind of a long hash mark there on 32, so you know where that's at. And then we put a little short one at 0, so you kind of know where that's at eventually. So in a couple of years, those nice lines and numbers are not going to probably be there. So so that's kind of how you do it. So hopefully this was helpful. Pass it on to your friends, and stay tuned for next week's. Just a heads up for all you LS geeks, probably in a couple of weeks we're going to start a test process. It'll be pretty in depth of manifolds, camshafts, probably do some bore combinations, LS projects. So kind of tell all your buddies about that. Stay tuned for that. We're kind of excited about it. So we'll probably try to be a little in depth about what goes on and behind the scenes testings and stuff. So pass that on to your friends, and we'll see you next week.